Noel forced her eyes to unnictitate, holding herself stiff to find a confidence she didn't feel. 8 members of the higher board sat to either side of her, their wings held apart from their bodies as the Murs and Jins leaned across the table and argued about whether the last 8 weeks had been a success or failure. The pressure wasn't unfamiliar. She thrived on it. But the guilt their questions had sparked, that was new. Wings drooping, she gazed out the window as the board members discussed what they thought was her future, but was really the future of their world. Beyond the large window, the air was white, not gray. The blue of the sky over the perpetual cloud cover seldom seen. On the rare day that the sun broke through, the observation meeting room would be packed by sun voyeurs. But now, the only things here were pointing fingers and wings looking to steal her updraft. "Madame Noel," the associate at the far end said, his deep voice bringing her wandering attention back. "Yes, Sierra Zuriel," she said pleasantly as she popped her toe knuckles. She'd been ignoring his hollow requests for a week now. "Well, we appreciate your desire for more time, but with your recent unapproved wild expenditures, the majority of the table believe it's in the company's best interest to assign Portal 34 quarantine status and waste no more resources there." Noel's eyes nictitated in anger. "You want to close it," she said, not even a hint of wheeze in her words. But still, the guilt pricked. She herself had given the world the nickname 34, earned by sending so many of their people there. But they weren't dead. They couldn't be. Their world was dying. They needed diversity, or it would fall in 100 generations. "Your Honorables, we can't close it," she implored. "Those who went need more time. The portal opened for an unreal span, I agree, but that's a promise that a large population waited, sophisticated and informationally connected. Our people simply haven't found each other in a significant number to reopen the portal. Or that they've been killed on sight," a small dark djinn named Ruth said, earning nods around the table. 8 weeks is time enough for them to find each other if the indigenous population is not violent and the environment is not toxic. You have made a valiant effort, but it has failed through no fault of your own. 34 creation sparks is a hard loss. We simply do not have the resources to fulfill your hastily offered contracts and keep the portal fixed to receive, idle for their unlikely return. It needs to resume searching out other avenues." "Prophet," she thought bitterly, giving her wing hem a little shake to show her disgust. "That's what this is all about." "If it isn't my fault, why am I before you justifying my actions? Yes, I promised 34 creation sparks to their survivors if they did not return, but it's just that number that has made reopening the portal a potential reality, not merely a hope to keep the populace from rebelling. Or is that all this company is for?" she said, coming to the heart of it. "Pacifying the populace. Giving them a false hope so they don't rise up in anger that our society has put wealth before survival generation after generation. To distract them from the reality that we will be extinct in 10 generations because we allowed short-term profits and willful ignorance to destroy our world." Eyes were nictitating, and she pointed at the floor as if she could see the portal at the base of the tower. "We need that portal fixed to receive," she said loudly, and Zuriel adjusted his wings in a blatant attempt to get her to land her mouth. "We need an influx of new species to bolster our own. It's an uncomfortable truth, but we are over the bell curve of our own existence. We need this to shift the graft, or we will not survive. I did not send my people to a possible death to keep the world's population content under a false hope for another generation. I sent them to bring change." 34, Madame Noel," Ruth protested. "You understand that this is almost 5 times the number of creation sparks that we had allocated to this project." Noel ran a hand over her head. They were not listening. "You would rather I had stuffed at 5? 10? Anything less than 23 individuals would be throwing lives away. 34 is a chance. You don't want to pay out? Fine. Don't declare them dead. Give them a year.